I think the best days of this company are behind it, especially in the car business.
I recommend anyone who doesn't believe that Tesla will solve vehicle autonomy should not hold Tesla stock. They should sell their Tesla stock. Well, obviously, the real reason that they canceled it is because GM can't make it work.
There's no company like Tesla that ultimately is trying to solve these complex problems.
All that and more. So let's get to it. Ooh, boy. In the pre-market, Tesla is down over 7.5%. What's changed?
David Traynor joining us right now, the CEO over at New Constructs, which has a sell rating on the stock. A stock now sitting on what is now, I believe, its fourth consecutive quarter where they've missed estimates here, at least on the top line numbers here. And it's raising a lot of questions, David, about the growth story, what it is, or more importantly, what it can be, depending on what the lineup looks like. Any hope?
I don't think so, Romain. I mean, I think this growth story was really confirmed to be broken last quarter when we didn't just see a deceleration in growth. We saw a decline in deliveries and margins contracting. I think the best days of this company are behind it, especially in the car business, as competition only gets stronger and their competitors' market share gets bigger and better.
What? Competition? What are we talking about here? Tesla sells the most battery electric vehicles in the world. Sure, margins are contracting, but they're the only company that makes money selling battery electric vehicles. There may be some Chinese players that have reached profitability, but nothing to the likes of Tesla. But I suppose it's not his fault for thinking that other OEMs can just catch Tesla. Tesla makes this look easy when it's anything but.
And Tesla's just not as popular as it once was. And I think the margins that we've seen in the past are not sustainable. And
I do want to focus on one thing, particularly when it comes to valuation, David, because a lot of investors, they don't value this as a car company. They value it as a tech company. And Elon Musk has been very good about trying to shift that narrative around the broader tech capabilities. We are the original AI company, or we are more of an energy company than just a car company. We're a battery company here. Any credence to that? I mean, they've shown in the past that they can make a pivot. Do you not see that up ahead?
I don't know how big has the pivot been, Romain. I mean, I think maybe the only other segment besides autos is energy, and it's still like maybe it's below 10%. Never's been much more than that.
And I suppose it'll never be more than that. The car business will remain static and unchanging, so will the energy division, static and unchanging. As a matter of fact, they're probably just going to fall off the face of the earth, considering all the demand that's going to be there for each of these products. It really confounds me because I use these products. And while Tesla irons out all of the costs that comes from making the hardware, it's the software that'll keep me coming back. The software associated with the energy products, the software that is associated with the cars. Second to none and best in class.
I think Musk is a great marketer, an amazing marketer. And it feels like every time there's bad news, he pulls another rabbit out of the hat, whether it's a robot or a spaceship or something else.
I forgot about the humanoid robots.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the talking point.
How could you forget? I mean, it's such a good dancer, right? I think these are diversion tactics. I think it's part of his marketing prowess. And I don't see that there's anything that Musk is going to do that's going to generate cash flow adequate to justify the valuation.
You really have to believe that EV adoption isn't going anywhere. As a matter of fact, it's going to decline, and that the demand for energy is actually going to decrease instead of increase fourfold in the next decade. Tesla will be the solution for many a consumer.
The value of Tesla overwhelmingly is autonomy. These other things are in the noise relative to autonomy. So I recommend anyone who doesn't believe that Tesla will solve vehicle autonomy should not hold Tesla stock. They should sell their Tesla stock. If you believe Tesla will solve autonomy, you should buy Tesla stock.
Looks like I'll be buying.
What about that ROBOTAXI event, Tom? What are your expectations?
Yeah, it's anybody's guess. Definitely, it's a narrative-changing thing. You guys know that's my big thesis for the stock. I think potentially what caused the delay had more to do with them seeking. I know they said it had to do some design issues, but I do wonder, and many investors wonder, but it has to do with them trying to get regulatory approvals to launch a service similar to, let's say, Waymo or Cruise have, right? That would be what makes sense, but it's difficult. You have to get California, et cetera, to approve that. So I do wonder if that's what's happening here. I mean, we don't know. That's what some investors are saying as to why it got delayed to October. But yeah, it's very important, obviously. We heard from GM this morning. They have abandoned their Origin purpose-built vehicle, a ROBOTAXI. They're instead going to use the Bolt to do this, which is very interesting. I think Tesla's going ahead with the purpose-built vehicle.
GM canceled their pedalless, wheelless vehicle. And according to the company this morning, their decision was driven by uncertainty about the regulatory environment.
Sound like some quitters to me. People wonder what would actually change my mind when it comes to Tesla. Why is my stance so all in on Tesla? For the that matters, they don't back down. It may take them a little longer to do some things, but they're going to do them. And in my experience, they're going to do them better than what the rest of the industry has to offer.
But the ROBOTAXI that has been, shown, at least in the images of the public, is also pedalless and wheelless. Is there a different regulatory concern just if you deploy a vehicle like that doesn't have pedals or a wheel, and may that be different from just regular FSD on a traditional Tesla vehicle? Thank you.
Well, obviously the real reason that they canceled it is because GM can't make it work, not because of regulators. They're blaming regulators. That's misleading of them to do so.
Damn!
For more on Tesla, we just had the headline about ROBOTAXI. What do you make of all this?
What I make of it, Melissa, is I think that the stock has continued to slip in the after hours as soon as Elon kind of wrapped up his first 10 minutes of comments. And I think investors were hoping for him to say something more optimistic. You mentioned a couple things there, but that doesn't really change the trajectory. That still the substance of the excitement of the story is probably a year plus away.
I suppose you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Nothing has changed. The ROBOTAXI event isn't 8/8 now, it's 10/10. They finally released some clarity on the subject. Hopefully they can make that date and not go 11/11. But I don't expect Elon to just go up there and just start grandstanding about great products here in the future to handhold the dummies that don't think that Tesla's going to be the most valuable company in a decade's time.
Why do you think all of a sudden investors really care about a timeline, Gene? I mean, I feel like, we've been thinking about ROBOTAXI a year out, and all of a sudden a year out now is problematic.
Well, it's problematic in the context of what we saw with margins. And since those margins dipped, it did generate more cash. Cash inched up to $31 billion. So they got plenty of cash. But once you start to stress the margins a little bit, it causes investors to want to see more in terms of when this next thing is going to start to hit. And so I think that's kind of elevated some of the anxiety around timing.
Oh no! The margins! While motherfuckers are worried about the Q2 margin story, sans regulatory credits and whatnot, all I can hear is a buying opportunity.
I'm still in the camp that they're going to deliver on these. They won't deliver it on time, but ultimately, no other car company is doing what Tesla's doing, and I think this is still going to move higher.
Your mother right it will.
Basically, you're holding on to the stock for what's going to happen maybe 2 years down the line. I'm just wondering how you think about that in terms of holding on to something that could very well be sort of dead money when you see so many other opportunities. You think of AI as sort of a once-in-a-generation opportunity. I mean, there are other places to put that money.
Indeed, there are other places, but there is no company like Tesla that ultimately is trying to solve these complex problems.
Ding, 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 ding! Tell him what he's won, Johnny! Your mother. Right. I'm all in on Tesla. My little meager portion of what I've got, I'm riding it high on TSLA. Why? Because there's no telling when the street is going to realize that Tesla will be the most valuable company in a decade's time. So many people were like, oh, you missed the Nvidia wave. If you didn't put that money in TSLA, you could have put it in Nvidia. Of course I could have. But my conviction in TSLA stems from my usage of the products. My staunch belief that they're going to solve for autonomy will lead to Tesla making money hand over fist. The demand for energy storage is only going to grow. The Optimus robot!
I think everyone on Earth is going to want one. There's 8 billion people on Earth, so that's 8 billion right there. Then you've got all of the industrial uses, which is probably at least as much, if not way more. So I suspect that the long-term demand for general purpose humanoid robots is in excess of 20 billion units. Tesla has the most advanced humanoid robot in the world, and is also very good at manufacturing, which these other companies are not. And we've got a lot of experience the most experience with the world leaders in real world AI. We're unique in having all of the ingredients necessary for large-scale, high-utility, generalized humanoid robots. In the benign AI scenario, we're headed for an age of abundance, where there is no shortage of goods and services. Anyone can have pretty much anything they want.
Yeah. In conclusion, the market reacted poorly to Tesla's Q2 earnings, when nothing has really changed. Earnings per share was a little bit low. But let's be honest, you're not investing in Tesla today due to its financials. At least not what's going on right now. But there is no other company that has this much potential to not only break through the $1 trillion market cap, but to soar right on past it. Tesla is already making money hand over fist, and that number will only proceed to grow as we head into the next decade. It's not a matter of if Tesla will be the most valuable company in a decade's time. It's a matter of when. And trying to pinpoint the date when the market will actually realize this is like throwing darts in a cement mixer. My best bet is to ride the volatile turbulence that is TSLA. My motto for now, in the foreseeable future, is I buy on red days. The longer the market chooses to ignore Tesla's potential, the larger my position will grow. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.